right, so this is the portion of the evening, where I'd like to get you some feedback from your experience today. What was learned? What did you learn about someone else's culture today? What did you realize about yourself, maybe? So this is just open forum, open dialogue. Anyone learn anything new?
Well, one of the things, is that it reminds me of like when people are when they say, "Oh, what's your nationality?" I gently put out this to them. I say, "Oh, well, I'm American, but I wear my ethnicity and all," because it is. You're right. Like so often these microaggressions of being a person of color. And it's like, would you ask a blonde-haired white woman that question? Like, my name, no, that's my birth name. But like somehow I feel, and so like when people ask me like, what's your nationality? It's like, no, I am American. Like I was born here, and that's my identity.
In Nigeria, where I'm from, we have a lot of folks that look like you, born in Nigeria, who speak the language. Sometimes better than most folks that were born out here, right? They identify as Nigerians. But when you look at them, to your point, if they walked in here and I said, "Hey, Kemi Shella," and she says to me, Kusimon, you'll look at her and say, "What the?" Right?
They're African American.
No. She is white as snow, just like you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right? But when she walks in, you'll think she's some white person.
Yes.
But she doesn't identify
Correct.
like that. Society sees her that way, just like you did the guy standing on the pole. You saw him that way because that's the way society reads you. To his point, society reads everyone that looks like me, him, rather, as African American.
Sure.
Right?
Stereotypes.
There you go. But to him, he's just a plain old African person, African descent. And that's what he wants to identify himself as.
Sure.
Now, if he's wearing the dashiki and all that stuff, you would look at him and say, "Oh yeah, that's an African man."
You are?
No, but let's get it right.
Oh yeah, he's African. And he'll tell you, "No, I was born in Canada. I grew up in Canada. You know, my dad's a white guy. I was adopted and this and that and the other." And you'd be like, "Oh, really? Interesting. Let's talk."
So that's another very, open level of my personal discomfort with saying something like maybe particularly Eastern European American or something like that. I do often specify that I'm first-gen American because for me as a human, that tends to resonate more with people from a lot of different backgrounds, and that connected me to a lot more people growing up as well.
I want to touch on something you said, this is what I was talking to you about, which is why I don't like the term African American. Because first thing you said, and I even gave that example, I said, this is what bothers me. Any white person come here, first generation, and the first thing you said was, "I am first generation American." No hyphen, no nothing, American. We've been here forever. We're hyphenated. Still to this day. I can't say I'm American. They'd be like, "Oh, you're African American." So we've been hyphenated since the day we've been brought, well, maybe we were something else.
Right, that guy said.
But it's another get you, but like I said, that is my problem with the term African American. It seems like a lot of syllables to say the N-word. That's just the way I feel, because we're still hyphenated, no matter how far how far removed we are, we're never fully American. That's why, that's my issue, I should say, with the term, because like you said, and I think it's beautiful. You're first generation American, you are American, and that's great, like I say. But like I said, some people, some races are afforded that luxury.
Now transformed yourself to be able to say like, "Oh, I noticed this is not
okay. Right. It's not this basic. I have to now grow and evolve, and you only do that by having that conversation with someone to say, this is what my thinking sounds like. Is that all right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
No, it didn't make sense.
Right.
Okay. Let
But
me-
that's how our brain actually works. It goes from the generalization to something more specific as we become, quote unquote, more sophisticated to see, what's going on. And it really makes sense in terms of like nature. You could, if something is dangerous, you have to know immediately that's dangerous until you realize that maybe it isn't dangerous. So anything that's different or a novel experience potentially can hurt you or help you. So you have to kind of ease into it.
You can have the same mother and father, light skin, caramel, dark skin, etc. But all of this stems from our identity that was stolen from us in slavery. This is why a lot of times you don't have the knowledge of the tribe you came from, Nigeria, what part of Africa. So when you ask those type of questions, this stems back from the divide that came from slavery.
Right.
But so when you see a lot of angry people, they probably was mad at you because you were in their business, not more so because you was white. It was more so
this same situation.
because if it was anybody else that was in their business, it would have been the same backlash. It's because they were having a one-on-one conversation, whether it was heated or not, and who are you to get in the middle of them arguing? In fact, you're asking for it when you do something like that in the black culture.
So, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to identify myself as American first, with African descent.